Hey guys, my name's Bred. I'm a Diamond ranked Marvel Rivals player. With Season 0 coming to an end, I imagine a lot of you are really looking to push hard towards your ranked goals. I've been putting in a lot of games and absolutely loving Marvel Rivals, so I'm excited to share what are the best and worst picks in the competitive scene. As opposed to other tier list videos you've probably seen, I wanted to make the ranks very clear and obvious. In a regular list, what exactly separates a B and C tier character? If S tier is the best, when is it ever worth picking a B, and then why have a C tier at all, right? So I wanted to make it simple. We have 5 tiers to go through: Avoid, One Tricks Only, Situational, Playable, and finally Overpowered. But I'm also aware a lot of you probably are here to find out two things: who is the absolute worst character and needs a buff badly, and then who is the strongest hero that you should be looking to play if you want to maximize your chances of climbing in ranked. So I'll also clearly be highlighting these for you as well. So firstly, we have tier 5, Avoid. These are the heroes that I would recommend staying away from if you want to play competitive. If you are looking to play them and have fun in quick matches, go ahead, there's no one stopping you. But you will really struggle to consistently win games on these heroes. These are Black Widow and Storm. So Black Widow, she's lacking in damage, and without a damage boost, it's impossible to one-shot, and landing headshots is quite difficult in a game where a lot of characters have movement abilities. Storm, movement is slow, and most people tend to play her similar to Iron Man as a long-range poke. However, her kit is designed to be played as a hero who sits in amongst her team members and focuses on short-range, penetrating burst damage. Either way, she is just far inferior to a lot of the other heroes on the list. So then we have tier 4, One Tricks Only. Now, I would actually not recommend one tricking in a game like Marvel Rivals. I find it's a good way to limit your climb to when your character is strong in the meta, which is also when you'll be getting the most competition from other players either picking or banning your one trick. However, I understand that for some people, they have limited time or they just love that character design. They want to spend all their time playing one hero no matter the game state. So that is the rank where these heroes fall into. Unless you are only playing one of these characters, I would recommend avoiding them as well. So these are Squirrel Girl, Venom, Magik, Black Panther, Iron Fist, Loki, Hulk, and Spider-Man. So Squirrel Girl. While she does have decent crowd control with her Acorn stun, she just lacks high, consistent damage output. Her ultimate is also very weak, and while it charges up quickly, it often doesn't result in a single elimination. Venom. He is a very simple design, where he wants to be in the middle of the enemy team, activating all his abilities and then jumping out, or swinging out. The issue is that the meta revolves around good CC and survivability, both of which Venom has no tools to deal with. Magik. Great Magik players can carry games for sure with her animation cancel combos. However, you will see a reoccurring issue with these melee diver characters. Right now, the meta for duelists is long range poking or medium range burst. This means a lot of the time, a Magik player cannot even get in close before getting melted by the enemy team. Black Panther. High level Black Panther mechanics are some of the best I've seen in the game. They can constantly reset their dashes, and it makes it very difficult for the enemy team to hit them. However, he suffers from the high healing strategist in the meta right now, which can make him useless a lot of the time. His ult is also quite lackluster. Iron Fist. He is borderline avoid. The only reason I am keeping him in this tier is he can absolutely carry games in lower elos. When the enemy team is not grouping and have poor communication, Iron Fist can elim each hero one at a time on repeat. However, the higher elo you get, the more inefficient his playstyle becomes. Loki. He is a very difficult to play strategist, compared to some of the others that rank higher on this list. His ult is versatile, as you can steal other players in the game's ults. However, the issue becomes that most of the time he is stealing the same 2 ults over and over, which we'll see higher on the list, but lacks their usual high healing. His invisibility is rarely useful, and his backstab is basically useless. Hulk. There are some really great high elo Hulk players that seem to always be high health, moving around the map, putting out damage. However, most Hulk players jump onto the point, get bursted down immediately, and then have to wait 5 seconds just to die as Bruce Banner. He is too much of a large, slow target where you'll be dying a lot most games. Spider-Man. You just need to look at Necros gameplay to see how powerful Spider-Man can be in game. However, he is extremely difficult compared to a lot of other heroes and needs consistently good aim and timing to do well in his games. There are many other heroes that can burst down the enemy just as quick, if not quicker, but can do it at a safe distance and more consistently. So that now brings us to tier 3 situational picks. For this tier, these are heroes that by themselves I would not recommend playing every game. Although mostly, due to the nature of how team-ups work in Rivals, there's certain conditions that can be met that push these heroes up into the overpowered / playable tier. So these are Iron Man, Namor, Wolverine, Captain America, and Penny Parker. Iron Man. Situation is Hulk team-up. So by himself, Iron Man's damage output is quite lackluster. He's also a hero that really suffers against hit scan as he constantly flies. Most games, this alone puts him in a lower tier, as he can't quite keep up to some of the higher tier duelists. However, when played with a Hulk, which unlocks his Gamma upgrade, this makes his beam attack devastating. This team up pushes him into a playable position for sure. Namor. Situation is a Lunar Snow team up. Namor can dish out decent damage with his projectile, and he has decent survivability with his barrier. But where he is lacking by himself is his octopus turrets. These are actually quite a long cooldown if you are waiting for both to come up, and can easily be destroyed by long-range duelists higher up in the list. However, when played with Luna, this unlocks a third turret, which makes spacing out the use of your turrets a lot nicer, and has the added slow on hit. Wolverine. Situation. Enemy team 2 or more Vanguards. So this one's a little different. It's not specifically a team up, although his fastball special with Hulk is quite nice as an extra leap, but where Wolverine thrives is playing into enemy teams where the Vanguards are dominating, or the enemy team has 3 or more Vanguards. As Wolverine, you will struggle to eliminate anyone that isn't a Vanguard. In games where you're versing 1 or less Vanguards on the enemy team, I wouldn't recommend playing him at all. Captain America. Situation, Thor team up. By himself, Captain America is a decently mobile Vanguard. His ultimate feels insignificant, and his basic abilities have quite long cooldowns. He also suffers from short range most of the time, like some of the lower tier duelists. However, this can be made up for with his Thor team up ability, which gives him long range lightning attacks. Penny Parker. Situation, defending maps. Penny is a defensive monster, and that's about it. Outside of defending capture points, she is largely immobile, has very limited damage, and no shielding abilities outside her ultimate. This means she really struggles on convergence and convoy maps on attack. I would say she even tends to struggle defending on convoy maps. So if you aren't playing these defense points, she isn't worth playing. Okay, so next we have tier 2, playable. This is where all the decent but not consistently dominating heroes fall into. These heroes can be picked every game, and you will still have a decent chance of climbing, so long as you're playing consistently well. Just keep in mind they aren't as strong as the overpowered heroes, so it might be worth only leaning towards these if you aren't very skilled at, or the overpowered heroes are taken by teammates. So these are Scarlet Witch, the Punisher, Jeff, Rocket Raccoon, Star-Lord, Groot, Moon Knight, Winter Soldier, Adam Warlock, Cloak and Dagger, and Thor. Scarlet Witch. She has decent damage output, is very easy to play, and great survivability with her 2 charges of her phasing abilities. Her ultimate is strong, but difficult to pull off. She falls short of overpowered though, as she lacks consistent long-range damage. The Punisher. He has amazing damage output, somewhat decent mobility, and is also easy to play if you have decent aim. He falls short of overpowered due to his poor survivability. While he can smokescreen and zipline away, a lot of the time you'll just get eliminated in the process. His ultimate also makes him extremely immobile and an easy target. Jeff. He has some of the best quick and consistent healing in the game. He is also highly mobile with his shift ability. However, he falls short of overpowered as his ultimate is quite hard to land on multiple enemies, and its impact is minimized when there isn't a cliff nearby to spit them off. Going into the ultimate also stops him from healing for the time he is positioning, which can get teammates eliminated. Rocket Raccoon. He has really consistent healing and amazing mobility. Rocket players are some of the hardest to eliminate in the game due to his small hitbox, wall running, and dashes. However, he has no way of rapidly healing teammates. What really pushes him short of overpowered is his ultimate. The current meta relies on large AoE healing ults to make an impact in games. The damage boost is nice, but doesn't offer the same level of value. Star-Lord. He has high DPS output and is a very mobile duelist. His ultimate is also one of the best in the game and can easily be used to team wipe in certain situations. However, what moves him down from overpowered is that most of the time he needs to be relatively short range to put out DPS, putting him in danger of being targeted by longer range, higher DPS enemies. His dodge also requires quite good reaction speed to pull off against most abilities. Groot. He is probably the Vanguard who can put out the most DPS if played correctly. His walls are annoying as hell for most duelists, and he can use them to catch out enemy strategists for easy picks. However, without the walls, Groot is quite susceptible to damage. He also has quite limited range, and what pushes him down from overpowered is his lack of multi-directional shielding. The walls are just too slow in comparison. Moon Knight. He has great DPS output on multiple enemies, especially if the enemy team is grouped. He has decent mobility and can win a lot of duels at mid to long range. Where he falls short of overpowered is his lack of short range damage / survivability. He can get easily overwhelmed, and even with a well-placed Unk, will lose a lot of close-range fights. His Unk is also easily destroyable, so even a well-placed one won't last long. Winter Soldier. Good aim with this hero is lethal, combined with his auto-reload on using abilities between bursts. He does have a dash also, but it is a relatively long cooldown. Where he does not quite reach the overpowered tier is his ultimate. While hearing again 6+ times is always hilarious, it's quite rare. Playing into strategists with team-wide AoE ults, he can easily be shut down, and the use of his ultimate feels kinda pointless. Adam Warlock. His damage output might be the highest of any of the strategists in the game. He also has really good instant heal burst. However, what brings him down from overpowered is the long cooldown on his heal abilities and the inconsistency of his ult. While you can make a game-saving ultimate and resurrect your whole team, too often will an Adam be out of position, ult on the point, and then just get team wiped in the process because everyone was 100 health. Cloak and Dagger. These two are great at healing up teammates relatively quick, and their ultimate is up there with one of the best strategist ults in the game right now. However, where they fall short is their lack of survivability and self-peel. While they can transform into Cloak, go invisible along with teammates, a lot of the time they may end up dying right after using it. They don't have a CC ability that they can use to escape close range duelists, and they're easily hit by longer range with their slow walking speed. Thor. He has great damage output and mobility. His survivability is pretty decent with his self-shield on each ability use. What is stopping him from being overpowered is his ultimate. The best Vanguard ultimates in the meta right now are able to be used defensively or offensively, whereas Thor can really only use his ult offensively, and it puts him into a position where he's easily targetable. Okay, finally we have top tier Overpowered. These are the best heroes in the game right now, and should be in your hero pool if you're looking to climb in competitive. If not, be prepared to verse them a lot in your ranked games. So these are Mantis, Luna Snow, Doctor Strange, Magneto, Hela, Hawkeye, and Psylocke. Mantis. She is consistently one of the highest damage heroes in the game, usually able to keep up with the duelists. Her base movement speed from her passive makes her very difficult to target, her healing is consistent, she can damage boost, and her ultimate is the best in the game for keeping your teammates alive. She can also self-peel with her sleep ability. Luna Snow. She is our other overpowered strategist, with an eerily similar ultimate. Her ability to heal up teammates from 1 health to full is ridiculous. When shifted, she can pierce teammates and enemies and heal an additional target she can't even see with her E ability. Her self-peel with her snowball is also great. Doctor Strange. He's the most versatile Vanguard we have in the game. His portal can just straight up win certain objectives if placed well and communicated to your team. His shield is very hard to break, his damage is decent, and he has the added bonus of being able to levitate. His ultimate is also amazing in many situations, and teamed up with a duelist or two can mean an easy team wipe. Magneto. He is our unkillable Vanguard of the season. Between his shield that he can use on himself or on a teammate, and his shift barrier, he can soak up a lot of damage. He He also has right click, which can be used to peel his strategists or move an enemy vanguard out of position. His ultimate is also great for soaking up damage, and if played right, can delete an enemy duelist or strategist. Hela. She is probably our best duelist for Season 0. She has crazy high damage output at all ranges, but can also peel herself with her stun and head hit, body hit combo at close range. This combined with her Raven form to escape bad positioning, she is very safe and relatively low skill as long as you're aiming well. Her ultimate is also one of the few that can get through Mantis and Luna large AoE healing. Hawkeye. He is our highest raw damage duelist right now. A fully charged headshot will do just over 400 damage. This eliminates any of the duelists and strategists in the game. He can also peel with his sword slice and use his double jump to escape. His ultimate is great for dishing out very quick damage and can be used to melt vanguards. Psylocke. She is our assassin slash pick hero of the season. Where the other assassin type heroes end up being much lower on this list, she has a great mid to short range damage output combined with the survivability of her invisibility, 2 dashes, and an ult that makes her relatively hard to target. This combination of tools cements her in Overpowered. Okay, so now we'll look at the list and determine the strongest and weakest hero of Season 0. So strongest, we're going to have to go with Mantis. So her healing and team survivability is the number one priority right now in the meta. So I definitely think that earns her the top spot. Now, our weakest would be Black Widow. So a sniper assassin that can't reliably one-shot just has no place in the meta right now. So that's our overall individual tiers for the Season 0. So now let's look at best team comp and champion pool. So like this tier list works great if you're playing competitive solo and looking at who to include in your hero pool to climb reliably. So if we bring up this one instead. Perfect. So for example, if you would like to only play duelist, I'd recommend the following. We'd have at least one of the overpowered category, 2 to 3 of the playable as backups, and 1 situational to whip out if a condition is met. So for me, this is what it looks like. Hela is my hover in hero select, but I'm not instantly locking her in case one of our teammates is a Hela one trick, right? So then I've got the option of the following playable heroes, right? I've got Punisher, I've got Scarlet Witch, and I've got Moon Knight. So Punisher will be who I pick in most situations, regardless of what the enemy team looks like. Scarlet Witch is who I like to play into dive-heavy team comps, as I can usually kite them out and outplay them. And then Moon Knight is who I like to play when the enemy team is heavily grouped. If they're all running around as a 6-man, I can dish out a lot of damage on that character. So then I also have a situational at the ready just in case. So I have Namor, who I love to play if an enemy Spider-Man is dominating or another sort of dive character. And I'll only pick this if we have a Luna on the team. So this gives me 5 heroes in my roster, and I have a range of playstyles ready. If I need to switch it up mid-game, I can do this without being stretched too thin and trying to play every duelist in the game. So what I think this tier list is also great for is for planning out team comps with premates. A great strategy, if you can, is playing as a 6-person team. So this can give you a massive advantage if everyone knows their roles and is willing to put the time into a certain hero for some free ranked wins. I would say that an optimal team comp for Season 0, taking into account hero team-ups for maximum utilization, would be Mantis, Adam Warlock, Magneto, Scarlet Witch, Hela, and then Thor. So the reason for this is we're getting the best hero and strategist in the game, Mantis, and we're giving her the ability to revive through the Adam passive. Then we're bringing out our best unkillable tank of our Vanguard of the season. So that's Magneto, and we're bringing in the Scarlet Witch, who's in the playable category, to really amp up his damage, give him that sword passive, and it means that not only is he now unkillable, he's also dishing out decent damage. Then we're bringing in Hela, who's our best duelist of the season, and alongside her, we're bringing in Thor. Now, what we're doing here is we're giving Thor the option to get resurrected whenever Hela lands a last hit. So it means across the team we have 1, 2, 3 potential resurrections. We've got additional damage from our team ups as well. And then we've got additional survivability. So that's just one example. Another example, if we implement some of the situational characters, right? We could do something like Namor, Luna Snow, Captain America, then Thor, Cloak and Dagger, and then Moon Knight. So what we're looking at here, right, is we've got Luna Snow, another one of the best supports in the game. Let's say Mantis is banned, bring in the Luna, and then great, a really good team up that we know of is Namor to get that third turret. So now we've got a little bit of additional damage. Then, if we're going to bring out the Captain America, we can try and activate his ability with Thor, so he gets the lightning damage. So we've got 2 highly mobile vanguards, obviously a little bit lower on the tanky side compared to our Overpowered, but really decent damage across the board and you know, CC and pick. Then we've got Cloak and Dagger. They're another one of our higher tiered strategists. And we've got Moon Knight alongside that as well to activate his invisibility. So this is a really strong team comp as well. So let me know if you'd be interested in the video just covering team compositions for Season 0. That's all I wanted to cover here. Please let me know in the comments if you had any opinions on if you think I should revisit any heroes in the tier or any ideas on the tier list layout. Please be sure to give the video a like if you found this interesting and would like to see more lists and guides from me. Have a great day, and see you guys next time.